Hi guys, welcome to another video. So to start this makeup look, I'm just taking the Bruise wheel from BenNye, and I'm going to be tapping my brush into the red shade, and I'm just going to be using the dry brush technique where you rub off most of the product, and then I'm just tapping that on into my cheekbones to add irritation. So I'm just dabbing that red shade with the dry brush technique all over my cheekbones. And I'm trying to do dabbing motions so that I create different textures and depths. I don't want to blend at all. I want to see all of those brush marks and yeah, because it creates texture. So I'm just continuing the exact same thing onto my eyelids. And now I'm taking the exact same Bruise wheel, but I'm going into that purple shade there. And doing the same technique where I brush off most of the product onto the back of my hand, and then whatever's left on the brush I just dab into my cheek as well. So in person this came out a lot more dark, but it's okay. It doesn't pick up as well on camera as I wanted it to, but it still looks good, so that's alright. So I'm just continuing the same thing on the other cheek and on my eyes, and now I'm going into the same Bruise wheel and taking that yellow shade and adding that to the cheeks to add more of that discoloration. Yeah. And I'm kind of just spreading that all over, trying not to blend out the colors, but I just wanted it to have like a faint yellow sheen over the entire look because it kind of makes it look more infected and dead and gross. Just applying the same on my eyes. Can't see the yellow as much on camera, but in person it's a lot more intense. So now I'm taking the red and the purple again, and I'm going to be doing a wound on my forehead. So I'm just creating some irritation up there with that purple and pink shade or red shade. Stippling motions and back into the yellow. And I noticed the camera wasn't picking it up as well, so I started trying to be a little bit more heavy-handed. And I'm just dabbing that yellow everywhere, and my bangs just keep getting in the way. Now I'm going in with a powder, and I'm just dabbing over a purple over top of it, just to set it down because I'm going to be putting wax over top. So now I'm going in with my Epic Ink black liner, and I'm going to start making stitches along the sides of my cheeks and my eyes where I made the irritation. I'm not too happy with how the stitches turned out, but that's okay. In my opinion, I would have done them a little bit more thick, but it turned out alright. So again, I'm just applying some stitches with my liner on the other side of my cheek, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them on my eyes as well. And so this part of the look is supposed to be where, the doctor cut open the person who was infected and stitched them back up as they were doing tests and trying to figure out what was wrong with them. Again, I'm just going over on the other eye and quickly adding in those stitches. And little dots to add details. Then I'm taking some Scab blood from Jordane, and I'm just going to start dotting that all over the cheek as where the wound would be that they stitched back up. So I'm just adding a line across those stitches as if there was a cut there. And I think this added a lot more dimension to the look, and I'm happy that I did this part. So I'm doing the exact same thing on the lid. I already did it on the other cheek. And now I'm taking some liquid blood, and I'm going to take a little black sponge and just stipple that on to add more texture and dimension to the look. I'm going to just take a little bit of the blood and just kind of stipple it all over my face so that not everywhere is too perfect. And now I'm going back in with the powder red shadow, and I'm just putting that under my eyes to look more irritated and infected looking. Putting some on my lips as well, because I am supposed to be infected, so I'm just deepening it up with the purple now, and I believe I go in with yellow as well. So like I said, I was going in with wax, so now I'm just taking some wax from BenNye, and I'm going to create a wound on my forehead. So I'm just using 2 little snakies, and yeah, that's what I call them, little snakes. So it's just a thin little tube of wax, and I'm putting them on either side, and now I'm just adding some texture after I blended it out. So I'm taking that same stippling sponge, and I'm just adding some pores in there. And I'm filling the hole between the 2 wax snakes. I'm adding some blood and use my finger just to blend that out so it's not super harsh. So now it looks like I have a gash on my forehead. I'm taking more liquid blood on my stippling sponge, and I'm just going to stipple that around the wounded area. And that's it for the final look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I added some edible blood and made it a little bit more creepy. If you enjoyed this look, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see every time I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.